Welcome back to This Week in Film. It's week 12 of the program where we talk about the movies we saw this week. That's my fun radio voice. I'm Nick Panotto, joined as always by Charlie Chester and Ray Rayndom.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
We'll just come right out. We all saw BatmanVSuperman this week.
We did.
Not together, though. Let's not pretend like we're friends
we
and
don't.
we hang out.
No, this is it. This is
Strictly business.
I don't even like being this close to you. Sucked. The movie sucked.
That's it. That's the review.
It really sucked. Moving on to the next movie.
I didn't hate it. I thought there was the whole movie. I was like up and down. Like there'd be a good part where I liked and like, oh, this is kind of going to be all right, and then it would just completely, take you down. My main gripe was I hated Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I thought if the movie would have had a good villain, I thought that might have saved it somewhat. And that part of it just completely ruined it for me. I hated every single time he was on screen. I just hated him. It might have to do with the fact that I don't really like Jesse Eisenberg in general.
Let me interrupt real quick. Heavy spoilers. If you haven't seen Batman vs Superman and you care about spoilers, don't keep listening to this.
This is going to kill our fan base right here.
No, we're the last ones to see the movie.
Okay.
Everybody else saw it last week.
Yeah, so that was my main gripe with it, and the story was just all over the place. But I did like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I agree.
And as Bruce Wayne, too.
I liked his Bruce Wayne was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was the one shining moment of the movie, the one good thing you can take away from it. I'm excited to see if Ben Affleck actually takes it up a Batman movie, directs a Batman movie. I think that will be cool. But besides that, everything else about it was terrible.
Yeah. Batman just straight murders people in this movie. He murders people left and right.
In cold blood.
The one rule that all writers have always gotten in DC when they get asked to write a Batman or a Superman story is you can't kill. That was the one rule that they can't break, right? So now, like, you come in with this new generation, Zack Snyder consistently says, this is a new universe. We're doing something new here. And they beat you over the head that these guys are willing to kill. I mean, Man of Steel, really sets the precedent there with Zod being killed at the end, and not in, a fun way. He snaps the guy's neck. It's okay to change the universe if they're going to go for this new idea, but they have to do it consistently. And I think we've talked about this. They're not consistent with the killings, who they're killing, why they're killing.
Right.
Yeah.
Reasoning is... There's no reasoning.
I completely disagree about the killing. Your main protagonists in a comic book story starring Batman and Superman are not murderers. The one Batmobile car chase where he's chasing that truck with the kryptonite in it.
Right.
And he just starts shooting guns at the guys that he's chasing. And then he crashes that one car. And I had this moment when this is the car that flips and then he shoots that tow cable on it, where I went, oh, did those guys fall out of the car in that A-Team kind of style? Because that car is just smashing into everything, dragging behind the Batmobile, and then he launches that car and it lands on top of another one,
right,
killing everyone inside the car.
Yeah.
Batman is not a murderer. That's the reason he exists, is to stop horrible things like that from happening.
Sure. But they are going around along the line of saying Batman has seen some S. Over the past 10 years have not been
gray
good.
Hairs.
Right.
They've not been good to him.
Right.
You even look at what happened to Robin. They don't talk about it, but it's a constant reminder that he has seen death.
One of the very few things that I really enjoyed about the movie is that this Batman has a past.
Right.
Yeah.
Things have happened to him that are terrible.
A lot of things were alluded to.
Yeah.
They're taking so many ideas from so many different comic books, good ideas from different comic books, and try to mash them together, and it's just not working. It doesn't work.
Well, that's the other thing that I feel is a great loss is the Doomsday storyline could have been the third Justice League movie, where you have all these heroes established, and then Doomsday pounds his way out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And
something indestructible that nobody can defeat, and they need everybody to come.
Everybody's got to join up to take him down. And then, that's the storyline, is everyone has to work together to destroy this, to stop this thing.
The death of Superman is the biggest thing that ever happened in DC Comics.
So they've lost that now.
Yeah.
They lost the Dark Knight Returns. Those are their crowning achievements.
Let's also even look in the DC universe. He kills Superman. Superman stays dead for what, about a year in comic book world? Do we really have that much time in the DC cinematic universe for him, like,
No,
to
he's
warrant
back
this
in
death?
the next movie already.
Well, I mean, you allude to it at the very end.
Yeah, you see the
already...
dirt starts to fly.
Yeah,
It's
in
just
screen time, he's been dead for what, like
a
10
week,
minutes?
maybe?
I mean, in actual screen time.
Right.
Like, it doesn't gestate. There's nothing... You lose all that drama that possibly could be there.
Who is in the coffin?
Oh, I've thought about that too.
There's two coffins.
There's 2 funerals. Yeah. I guess the Superman funeral, there's nobody in that coffin? Because it seems like they took Clark Kent like back to Kansas. And,
right.
Like,
yeah, but...
And he was at the wake. He was like, his body was in the coffin.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
There were so many dumb moments in the movie that had you thinking about stuff that you didn't need to be thinking about during a movie. Stupid stuff that you shouldn't have to, like that, the 2 coffin thing. Like, at the end of a movie like that, like, I shouldn't be thinking about, oh, wait, who's in that coffin? Like, it's just like stuff like that just takes you away from the whole story. Because they're not making
decisions. They're not making good decisions.
No. I mean, in the comic story, the government takes Superman's body and they inter him. And Martha Kent has to bury her son in, like, she basically just buries an empty casket because he belongs to the world.
Right.
Like, no one knows that he's Clark Kent.
Right.
Unlike in this universe where having a secret identity is good for a day.
Right.
For instance, and that brings me to the next thing, which is motivations. The only character in this movie who has any motivation is Batman.
Yeah, right. They do a good job with that.
They do yes. They do a good job of establishing what he wants, which is to just eliminate Superman. But Lex Luthor has no motivation other than he's crazy.
And rich and can do whatever he wants.
And they don't pull off crazy well.
No, he doesn't.
At all. It looks like he's pretending to be crazy.
Yeah. For a moment I went, oh man, that would be kind of neat if Jared Leto became the Joker also, where
Heisenberg.
Joker.
Oh, what did I say?
Jared Leto.
Yeah. Well, and then I realized, oh yeah, they already have a Joker.
Right. Yeah. I'm calling it the colon in the title, Batman v Superman : Dawn of Justice. The colon is essentially Batman vs Superman is the first part of the movie, and then they have to come together as the Dawn of Justice. We're setting up the franchise. It's all in the title.
Right.
So the colon has to be the solution.
Is the crap
How do
that
they
the
go
movie
from
came
being
out of.
Batman versus Superman to friends? What brings them together?
Nothing brings them together other than Superman refers to his mother by her first name.
Precisely. That's the colon. Martha is the freaking
Martha!
Colon. They both have someone in their lives with the same name, so therefore they're going to become friends again.
And Wonder Woman just shows up. So shoehorned into that movie. Yeah. When she shows up to fight, Superman has no idea who this woman is.
Right. He's like, is she? What does he say? Is she with you? Doesn't he say that? Is she with you?
Right. And Batman goes, I thought she was with you. Why? Are you making a joke? Batman doesn't make jokes.
Yeah. And then she stepped away from humanity.
Right. She says she was done.
For 100 years. So she comes back now because of Doomsday.
Who's the girl Batman takes home after the Lex Luthor party? He wakes up that after having...
Oh, well, it's Bruce Wayne. You know, he probably picks somebody up at the party.
I guess, but there's...
That's what he does.
But, I mean...
And at his house, that is, like, the cool little... it's like a square glass box.
He lives in the house from Ex Machina.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I thought of when I saw that. That's exactly what I thought of.
Wayne Manor. Has it been destroyed?
That's what it looks like,
yeah. It looks like something terrible happened there in the past.
So he goes there just to go to the Batcave.
Well, no, because I guess so.
They never really reveal where the Batcave is.
Because he's got the underwater entrance
which
for the
I thought
Batmobile.
that was one of the corniest things in the whole movie. His Batmobile jumping like into the lake that went into a hole.
Yeah.
I thought the Batcave was cool, like inside. Like when he was inside, like I thought it looked cool. It was like very practical. There was like elevators and stuff. But like him driving into that looked like straight out of a cartoon.
Yeah. I thought all the special effects looked bad.
Yeah, it was.
Especially anytime Superman was flying, and a couple of times they must have realized how bad it looked because he would just take off screen. Like even that whole Doomsday fight looked real bad. It's real far away and it's just electric.
Yeah.
Well, I said the dark side thing doesn't look good, which brings it to another point: the dream within a dream.
Oh, the dream sequence.
Shit. Yeah, like none of that has any relevance to this plot.
Well,
but yet it's supposed to set up the Justice League, but it's in a dream.
It's in a dream, yeah.
So, like, how does that even make sense?
Maybe Bruce Wayne woke up and was in an alternate dimension for a moment, but that is too heavy too soon.
No.
I mean, it'd be one thing if he woke up to that and was like, the hell was that?
Yeah.
And then, well, I guess I'll look at these logos Lex Luthor made for the rest of the Justice League. You watch a dream sequence and you realize that you just wasted your time.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you see what Batman is afraid of with Superman, but he has already expressed that verbally.
Right.
I mean, it was a neat action sequence, but
Ultimately, what I'm taking from this is Zack Snyder loves all these different visuals and really cool moments, but doesn't know how to connect them and just jams them all into the pot.
Batman goes to save Superman's mom. For whatever reason, he goes to save Superman's mom.
Right.
He is straight up invulnerable.
Well, he's got that suit on, right?
Right, he's got like
the armored suit.
No, he's just wearing the regular suit.
Oh, that's right. He takes it off.
Right.
Yeah.
He takes the time to change his clothes
Right.
before he goes to save Superman's mom. And while he's in the middle of the fight, they're hitting him with knives, and you see like sparks, and you think, oh, okay, well his suit protects him against knives. That's it's a decent defense or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at some point he gets actually stabbed in the shoulder. And you go, oh, okay, he got stabbed. But then all of the tension in this scene is removed 2 seconds later when a guy pulls a handgun and shoots him point blank in the back of the head, and the bullet bounces off. And Batman just says, ow. Batman goes into this room with a hostage. He breaks in the room and he grabs one of the guys with the guns and points it at the flamethrower guy who shows up in every scene.
Right.
And the guy says, I'll kill her, which is what he was going to do anyway.
Yeah.
And Batman goes, I believe you. And rather than shooting him in the head, he blows him up with the...
Why do you think that is? That's because it ends up being a much better visual for Zack Snyder. That's the only reason. That's the ultimate motivation for every decision in this. Is this visual going to meet these standards that I have?
Yeah. But even in that scene, even more tension is let out because Batman is able to not only survive being shot in the head, but his suit and cape are so powerfully strong that they can withstand an explosion from 2 feet away.
Well, when I'm saying physics, don't make sense. The physics of this universe are all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
the
yeah,
rules are just there's nothing concrete.
But
Everything is just
if you don't think that your heroes are vulnerable in some way, like Superman is invulnerable, but his weakness besides kryptonite is the people around him.
Right.
He cares deeply about the people around him.
Well, the only one that they, at this point, is his mom and Lois Lane.
Right.
He doesn't really give a shit about all these other people.
Right.
Like, when all those people get blown up around him in the Senate, I mean, he's, you know...
he makes like standing there.
He makes a face like, oh, a bomb.
In a wheelchair.
Oh, I should have seen it. Oh, well, we'll get him next time.
I mean, he doesn't have the empathy that, we've been told Superman should have.
Yeah. Well, moving on from BatmanVSuperman, when I got home from the theater, I had to get the taste of that movie out of my mouth. So I watched a different Batman-Superman movie, the 1996, I want to say, animated movie, the Batman-Superman movie, World's Finest. This movie is excellent. This movie is everything that Dawn of Justice should have been. If you don't remember, it stars Batman and Superman. Each character fits their archetype. Batman goes out at night, Superman's around during the day. He's a cheerful character. He's not dark and brooding. Batman is dark and brooding. They both have very specific things that they're trying to do. They confront each other early in the movie. Batman comes to Superman saying, hey, the Joker just stole a lot of kryptonite, and it doesn't take much to hurt you. What's the deal with him being in Metropolis? Blah, blah, blah. Batman falls in love with Lois Lane, creating a love triangle between the three of them. The Batman and Superman can't stand each other, but they have to work together in order to solve the mystery of what Lex Luthor and the Joker are working on. And by working together, they develop this friendship that you can see grow throughout I think the movie's maybe 70 minutes long, and they go from hating each other to the end of the movie, they're very good friends.
Which is a great dynamic.
It's
they're
great.
missing out on. Big time.
And the love triangle is great too. I mean, it really adds some drama to the scenes. Lois Lane keeps getting captured, which not only affects Superman, but Batman is invested in rescuing Lois Lane as well. If you watch that movie and then you think about Dawn of Justice and you realize how wrong Zack Snyder and team got it compared to this animated movie. I mean, Bruce Timm is great. Now everything that he did in the 90s with the DC universe is fantastic.
Oh,
but
yeah. I mean, they're about to do the Killing Joke, right?
yeah.
Which is going to be
it's all them,
insane.
which I hope so, yeah. That wraps up the movie discussion for this week. So we got some late answers for Rayndom Rayquest from the Val Kilmer movie. We just wanted to call those out. Scott says Top Secret's his favorite Val Kilmer movie. Matt says Tombstone. Chibi Foz says Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Another Matt says Batman Forever. Joe says Top Gun. And Chuck says Tombstone as well. And then, Ray, last week's question was, what's your favorite video game movie adaptation? Right. Wesley said Mortal Kombat. Dan also said Mortal Kombat. Sam said Wreck-It Ralph. Jackie said King of Kong. And our own Keith said Super Mario Brothers is his favorite video game movie. He said every day he would watch it. Every day.
Oh, Keith. So I guess on his scale of is it good, better, or worse than Spider-Man?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah.
And then we had our first listener question. Christine asks, if you had to choose Fern Gully or Avatar? Ray, we'll start with you.
Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest?
That's right.
I absolutely hated Avatar.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like Avatar at all. Fern Gully I saw when I was a kid, and I don't really remember, but I'll go with Fern Gully because I hated Avatar that much.
Charlie.
Is the question, like, what if I had to choose right now just to watch a movie? If that's the question.
Christine's very specific question said, if you had to choose.
Fern
Gully or
very
Avatar?
Specific. Right now, I'd rather watch Fern Gully because Avatar did suck.
Let me tell you why I don't ever want to watch Fern Gully again. I don't know if you remember, but Robin Williams is the voice of a bat in the movie. Robin Williams raps in the movie.
Yes.
I think a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it is Robin Williams rapping as a bat.
I'd rather
that is enough.
See that than see Dances with Wolves with blue makeup.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that has been listener questions. If you have a question for us, fire it off. We'll answer it. Ray, what's your Rayndom Rayquest for this week?
This week, my question is, name a movie that you were very excited to go see. Anticipated, very excited for, and when you went to see it, it completely just did not meet your expectations.
Awesome. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, because there's a couple for me. I'm sure you guys have a couple too. So,
Ray, where can the good people find us?
You can find us on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Twitter, and at thisweekinfilmpodcast.com.
Please rate, review, subscribe to us on all the things. All those things. For whatever reason, all that stuff matters. So we would like lots of money. Yeah. So if you have some,
we'll take all your money.
If you have some, give some to us. Charlie, plugs.
Boy Zero comic book. You can search it, Boy Zero comic, and it'll pop up online. Available for print in the near future. I keep saying that, but very, very near future.
Very excited for that. Well, I guess that will about do it for week 12.
Have a good week, guys.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.